here on Patriot League All Access with Lehigh head coach Andy Coen. Coach Coen, how are you doing today?
We're doing great, Matt.
All right, now you're 4-1, completed non-league play, ranked number 10 in the country. Kind of assess your team's play through the first half of the season.
Well, I'm obviously pleased with where we're at. What I'm most pleased with is I really think we've improved, week by week, and that's, I think, a sign of a good football team is that the kids can find a way to get better each week, and we want to continue to get better, and we don't want to play our best game, until the very, very end. But I like how our kids have gone about things. We've been pretty workmanlike. I think everybody's kind of kept each game in perspective, and we know we're going to be challenged, this week as we enter league play.
You've had one of the best offenses in the country with Chris Lum, Ryan Sprillo, Jake Terrell in particular. Talk about the chemistry between those guys and how they built up such a great rapport.
Yeah, really outstanding. And I think it really started last year, and Chris, I thought, certainly improved last year throughout, the season, and I thought he definitely played his best game in the playoff game against Delaware. Ryan continued to grow. I knew just going out at spring ball, that Ryan was a much better player in March than he had been in December, and he continues to get better. Jake is somebody that I think has always been a little bit undervalued by people, except by us, and he's having the ability now to work with a quarterback that's a very accurate thrower, and he's catching balls in stride, and he's got a real toughness to him that allows him to get yardage after catch. And those guys spent a lot of time over the summer working with each other, just proving they were all on campus, and that proves how dedicated and committed they are, and they all wanted to come out and have a great season, and up to now they've certainly done that.
Now everything on offense, of course, starts with the line, and you lost some great players last year, particularly Will Rackley, but talk about how this group has kind of come together.
I tell you what, it's come together nicely, but it's over time. We've probably played 3 different lineups in games, and we got to a point a couple of weeks ago where we had the group that we thought would be the starters coming out of spring ball. And then Mike Vono got banged up again, but A.J. Hood stepped in and did a nice job at right tackle for us. So it took some time, but we just keep working at it each week. I think our offensive line coach Brett Sawyer does a great job. I think we put our kids in the right position to be successful, and hopefully we can keep everybody healthy, and that group can gel more as we go through these next 6 weeks.
Now your defense seems like it's really come along, especially last week, allowing only 7 points to Yale. What have you seen for the progression from that group?
Yeah, the progression, it's real interesting. We gave up a touchdown the very first series of the game against Monmouth, and then really shut them down, and it's proved Monmouth's turning out to be a pretty good football team. Then after that, we were I thought we played on our heels for a couple of weeks. I really noticed a big change in the Liberty game with our defense. It seemed like they kind of had stopped worrying about maybe making mistakes. I know we do have a lot of new players in the secondary. Those kids have really done a nice job flying around. They've been physical. They're playing the ball very well in the air. So I started to see, maybe it's a confidence that came, through the Liberty game, and then last week I just thought we were lights out on defense, and hopefully the kids will continue to, like I mentioned earlier, keep getting better each week. But I think they're playing with a real degree of confidence now.
And finally, you have all Patriot League games left. What have been your impressions of the competition in the Patriot League, and in particular your opponent this weekend, Bucknell?
Yeah, well, I said during the media day that there's so much parity in the league right now, and I think any team is capable of beating any other team. I've been very impressed by what I've seen from Bucknell. Big improvements from a year ago. The quarterback has done a great job for them, and he got to play a lot, or played the whole time for the most part last year as a freshman. They've got a real plan. That's what I was real impressed about, even how Bucknell went through last year with the new staff. They weren't grabbing at things. They definitely had a plan on offense and defense, and they worked to get better at that. And that's what they're reaping the benefits of, being consistent and doing what they believe. They've done a fabulous job with turnovers. I think they're second in the nation in turnover ratio, and defense has done a great job getting the ball, and the offense have been real opportunistic with it. But I've been impressed, throughout the league. Looks like Holy Cross has a real strong team this year. They've lost 2 tough games to CAA teams, and Colgate's. They've got Eachus back now, and they had a really nice game last week. So I just think, anybody can beat anybody in the league, and you got to come out and you got to play your A game for the, in your league games.